Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. It is Wednesday, and we're at May the 6th. Welcome to the show. We've got your HCC news and information. We're going to be talking about graduation. We've got tips for you, all types of information for you today on this Wednesday. And, of course, Brittany Pacheco joining us from her nerd room. Good morning, Brittany.
Hey, good morning, Todd, and good morning, everyone who's joining us on Facebook. Happy Nurses Week to all of our nurses who are working so hard during this crisis, and we're so appreciative of everything you all are doing. You guys need a special shout out, and we're just very happy to be able to send you our love and hope that you all are doing well, and we're doing our part by staying home. So, moving forward, everyone, thank you again for joining us on Facebook. Be sure to like our Facebook page as well as Twitter and Instagram, and head over to our YouTube channel where we have thousands of videos for you to look through during this time. And be sure to subscribe to our channel and also hit that notification bell so you can be the first to find out the latest from HCC.
Well, Brittany, we've got a lot of special things happening from the show. Later during the show, we're expecting a visit from someone who is at a press conference right now at the Harris County Sheriff's Office with HCC making a very special announcement. We'll talk more about that shortly. We've also got Chief Greg Cunningham here from the HCC Police Department. Good morning, Chief. Welcome back on the Wednesday.
Thank you, sir. It's wonderful to see everybody, and it seems like we're surviving COVID very well.
We are doing the best we can in this remote environment. And speaking of remote environment, you know, we've got a virtual commencement ceremony coming up, and we're joined now by Dr. Shantay Grays, the Vice Chancellor of Student Services. Good morning and welcome to the show again, Dr. Grays.
Good morning, and it's my pleasure to be here. So excited to share the great news about our upcoming virtual commencement ceremony.
And let's get directly to that because it's coming up not too long from now, May the 22nd. Maybe you can tell us how many students you're expecting and what's an update for the graduation. Let's start with the graduation deadline because that's happening very soon for wanting to participate in the graduation.
So we are, again, so excited to be able to host our very first virtual commencement ceremony. We do want to note to students today is the deadline to register to RSVP and participate in the virtual ceremony. So for those students who've already applied and you've submitted the application, you've been approved for graduation, take advantage of the opportunity today. It's the very last day in order to participate. I will say, though, it is too late now. If you are registering, it's too late to have your name printed in the program. So I want to make certain that we're clear because each of our graduates will receive a hard copy of the commencement program, but it's not too late to sign up to participate virtually, to get that photo, that great headshot uploaded and share your experience and participate in the May 22nd event.
What can students expect for this event? Because this is the first time we've done it here at HCC, but I know we're planning a number of special things and making it personalized for each student.
That's right, Todd. We've got a number of really exciting things planned. We've got our student life departments that are involved. We've got a lot of faculty and staff members who are also engaged in some really cool messaging you'll see in the week leading up to the ceremony. But I will share, this is a very different. So while most of our graduates, and as you've seen in traditional ceremonies, students walk across the stage, they're usually in a large convention center, or in our case, we were at the beautiful NRG stadium. We know that because of COVID-19, we won't have that luxury this year. So we thought we would hurry very quickly to find a way to celebrate all of the achievements of our students and recognize that this is a very momentous occasion and we don't want to miss the opportunity to highlight that. So virtually, we are allowing our graduates to upload a photo of themselves, share a quick message to their friends and family members who've supported them along their journey. And we're going to highlight that as part of the ceremony. There will still be the traditional pomp and circumstance. We will still allow individuals who've been able to purchase a cap and gown. We'll have the ceremonial moving of the tassel. All of the things that you see that are included in a traditional ceremony will be delivered virtually. We just won't have the great fortune of seeing your faces and shaking your hands this spring semester. However, we've got something planned for you in the future as well.
And you talked about the cap and gown, which is optional for this ceremony, but family and friends, they're encouraged to participate as well. How can they do that? Sure.
We are live streaming the event. We are also making it available on our YouTube page, as you heard Brittany mention earlier. Family members and friends or current HCC students and faculty and staff are encouraged to join us virtually by visiting hccs.edu/graduation. Again, that's hccs.edu/graduation. There you'll be able to see the live stream event. You'll be able to see the names of the candidates and as well as the remarks by some of our outstanding speakers, including our board chair, our chancellor, and our United Student Council president.
Well, some graduates are asking how will they receive their diplomas. Can you clarify that for them? Because in the traditional ceremony, the diplomas are not handed out in person.
That's right. So understanding that we don't have the luxury, again, of meeting face to face, you won't get that virtual, that real life experience. But I do want to clarify that individuals who have completed all of their course requirements will still receive their traditional diploma, as well as an official copy of their transcript. You don't have to do anything but validate your mailing address. Ensure that we have the most accurate mailing address on file for you. And once we receive that information, you will receive a copy of your official transcript as well as the diploma about 6 to 8 weeks after the spring semester. For those students who are completing their coursework over the summer, we're also asking that you give us about another 6 weeks for processing time. But again, you will receive those copies of those documents for which we know you're excited to receive. You'll receive that in the mail, hard copy, from our Office of the Registrar.
Being that we're all working online right now virtually, some students are going to be moving on to other colleges and moving on with their lives, and they need their official transcripts. How would they go about requesting those, and how would they receive them?
Sure. Students do not have to wait until the processing is complete. If for some of our graduates we know are needing that information for either graduate school work or transfer or for employment, you can visit the Office of Student Records. It's on the hccs.edu /admissions, I believe, that website, and request an official copy of your transcript. All of that will be facilitated online. You'll pay the $7 processing fee, and you can request an electronic copy be submitted to the institution of your choice, or have that copy delivered to either the company or to yourselves directly via email in a PDF format. Again, you can visit the Office of the Registrar online, that's hccs.edu, and visit our admissions and records and make that request formally.
And you mentioned just briefly a moment ago about having something special planned for the students who want to participate face-to-face in a physical ceremony. And what do we have planned for them who may want to walk across the stage one day?
That's right, Todd. Nothing beats the real nostalgia of walking across the stage and hearing pomp and circumstance and your families with the bullhorns in the stadium and your friends and colleagues and, again, peers going crazy, right? So we want to ensure that everyone gets that experience. So we are officially extending an invitation to every single spring 2020 graduate of HCC. You are invited cordially to participate in our next face-to-face ceremony, which will be held in the fall 2020. The date and more details around the location and time will be announced later. You will receive an official letter and a communication from the Office of the Registrar and my office extending that invitation to you as well. So be on the lookout, please. If you are still interested in having that experience, we are encouraging you to take advantage of that opportunity and join us in the fall.
Dr. Grays, one final question, because this popped up yesterday, and I know some other students may be a bit confused. But if you're looking to, say, just graduate the semester, not necessarily take part in the ceremony, are there different deadlines to file for actual graduation as opposed to filing for the ceremony itself?
That's right, Todd. And there are indeed. Again, we still encourage students to submit. When we say apply for graduation, that's the application to have it processed within a given semester. So our registrar's office is still responsible for graduating students. We do that every year as a student, or throughout the year as students are completing their coursework. But we try our very best to process those by semester in a batch format that allows us to recognize those students within a completed time frame. There is, again, the process and the dates for application and deadline are posted on the website, and that's hccs.edu, and again, /graduation. You'll see all of the dates for each semester listed there. And if a student has a question or concerns about where they are in the process, or if in fact they are indeed eligible to apply, we're encouraging you to contact your advisor. You can visit our virtual lobby that's located right on the homepage. Sign up to meet an advisor to discuss your plans for graduation.
Dr. Shantay Grays, Vice Chancellor of Student Services, thanks for being here today. I know you'll be busy today because we have our Board of Trustees meetings. The committee meetings start at 11:30 a.m., and then we have our Board of Trustees meeting for the month of May. That happens at 4 p.m. this afternoon, and the whole thing will be streamed online on YouTube. So we want to remind everyone out there, you can keep up with HCC and our doings virtually online later on today. Dr. Grays, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. You all have a great day.
Thank you. And we're now going to move on to Chief Greg Cunningham, HCC Police Department. Chief, thanks for being here today.
It's wonderful to be here. We've been doing this Wednesday spot now for a while, and I really look forward to it. It's good to see everybody.
It's good to have you here. We look forward to it as well. It's always a lot of fun. Now, we want to talk about some things that have been going on across the nation, and particularly locally as well. We're supposedly in a quarantine, semi-lockdown, even though the states opened up, but we're still supposed to stay home for the most part. But there seems to be more people out on the roadways, and I don't know if you've noticed this, Chief. They are really flying around there at high speeds. What's going on?
Well, we had talked about this a couple of weeks ago. With the roads being empty, I mean, people were seeing traffic that they hadn't seen since, the 60s in Texas. And everybody was driving fast and just kind of enjoying the lack of traffic. The thing I want to warn you about, though, is we are opening up. And traffic is getting bigger, or is getting heavier and heavier. Bear in mind, there's still a lot of people walking and riding bikes out there. The high-speed driving is really becoming a problem. In fact, the state of Massachusetts put out some numbers last week. They said that their traffic has actually reduced by 50%, which means only about half as many people on the road. The problem is their traffic deaths are up 100%. So because of the high speed, and people not wearing safety belts and drinking and driving and all the reasons aren't new. It's just that we're seeing a lot more of it, and it's really being exacerbated by the speed.
And it's true. And here in Houston, there was some concern, and there have been some news stories out about more DWI cases that are causing fatalities, and not just late at night. We're talking 2 o'clock in the day, and it just seems to be a troubling thought that less people are on the roads, but you're seeing an increase in this activity.
Yeah, it's really difficult. People staying at home, some out of work, right, or some that aren't having to actively participate in work because of the COVID situation. So now what's happening is you got day drinkers, right? So you're almost at as much risk at 2 in the afternoon of a DWI problem as you are at 2 in the morning, right, where you would normally look for the bars closing down and that kind of thing. The other thing that really kind of complicates it is when the bars are open, bartenders and servers are trained, and they know that they know how many drinks you had, and they know when it's kind of enough. With folks drinking from the house now, there's no throttle on that, right? So if you're not controlling it well, then it's not being controlled, and that's adding to the problem as well.
This might be far out from left field, but you're seeing a lot of restaurants that are selling alcohol to go, and I know one of the restaurants down the street has a bar set up outside, and people can drive up and pick up drinks. Do you think that maybe something like this could be contributing to problems, or is that kind of these isolated cases?
I've heard about some of those programs, but I haven't taken advantage of one myself. So I don't know if they're actually handing mixed drinks out, or if what they're doing is, if you buy a meal, they'll provide an uncorked bottle of wine, or I heard one place was selling steaks and offering a bottle of whiskey with it. Now, if they're handing out mixed drinks, that's a little terrifying, right? And I hope that's not the way that that's happening. But for sure, if it is, it's contributing to this.
Chief, speaking of COVID-19, we've got some testing sites opening up literally all across the city, and one of them at the Southeast College. It's a project that is being supported by Memorial Hermann and the city of Houston. Are your guys out there keeping an eye over things there, and have you noticed traffic increase there?
Yeah, so this is really a partnership with the city of Houston as well. What they're trying to do is make sure that all the neighborhoods in the city get serviced with testing with access to tests. Southeast College is just an awesome place to do it because of its proximity right off the highway. Everybody kind of knows it. It's an icon in that neighborhood, in that area. So my guys are really not doing very much with this. The city of Houston, HPD, is going to be doing all of the traffic control and kind of the management of it, just like they have at the other city sites. This one is kind of a nice place to go to, though. Like I say, it's easy to get to, and we're actually setting it up inside that parking garage down there. So okay. People are going to be out of the sun. You don't have to sit in your car and wait in 90-degree heat. So if you're in that neighborhood and you haven't been tested and you need to be or you want to be, I'd really encourage you to stop by that site. It's going to be fast, it's going to be easy, and it's going to be one of the most comfortable test sites that are out there.
The question that comes up almost daily is when are things opening up? I know the state and the nation or many states are starting to gradually reopen again, including Texas. As far as getting back in our buildings, I imagine there's a lot of training and preparation that's going on now, even though we don't know when we're going to get back in those buildings. But I imagine behind the scenes from your area, logistics are a big thing on what happens when we do start getting back in gradually.
Well, so that's a great point, Todd. And what I want to assure everybody that's watching, both faculty, students, and staff, are that plans have been being worked now for 3-4 weeks. Right, so it's all going to have to be staged, and what we're doing is we're thinking about different phases of this thing, and the dates are going to need to be made firm. I would suspect that you'll see something fairly soon on allowing faculty and staff in to capture those things out of their office they need. Right, some of the faculty left papers that need to be graded and those kind of things, and of course we're getting really close to when grades are due. And some of the staff have left critical paperwork behind as well that helps the college function better. So I think you'll see something around that happening in the not too distant future. And then there's kind of another thought that we have some folks, some of our students that need practicals, right? Truck driving, you need to drive a truck in order to be certified, right? If you're in our cosmetology group and you're going to cut hair, you have to practice cutting hair on those kind of things. Nursing, giving shots, and dealing with patients. So there's a move afoot to try to get those labs, if you will, or practical exercises done sometime over the summertime so that we can get these folks finished up. And then we start to talk about, so what does the fall look like? And how do we move through the fall? So students can register with confidence and know that we're going to be able to do all of their education. Anything that can't happen online, we'll have a method by then that's really clean to get those practical exercises and whatnot done. So we've really been working on this for 3.5-4 weeks already. Almost everybody in the college has a hand in it, and it's really coming along nicely. So I would expect some really good news on that front starting just in the next week or two.
You know I've been reading a lot of articles lately and talking about companies thinking of reopening, and a lot of the school of thought, especially from colleges and universities that I've read, it seems like if things are going well online, there's really being that we're coming up on summer, there's no rush to get people in, just to be safe, be on the safe side, strategically plan things out so people feel comfortable and they're safe. So I imagine when the decision comes out, a lot of things are going to be taken in consideration, and overall safety is the number one concern.
Well, absolutely. And I'll encourage everybody, when those notices start to come out, I know the level of detail that went behind them. So please read those notices. It's going to give you a lot of great information on what you need to do to prepare to come, and what you should expect when you get there and how it's going to work. You're absolutely right, Todd. This is all driving about, number one, safety first, right? But number two is confidence, right? If I'm going to invite you into the facility, you got to feel good about being in there, and you got to understand that we're doing the right things to protect you and everybody else that's in the building with you.
Chief, one final thing, which is kind of weird, it's a weird thought going out there, is that there's a lot of video you see on news that are being done from these Ring cameras or stationary cameras, but we're finding out that those are a hot item for thieves to take, correct?
Well, so that it really has become a national problem, and it's kind of funny because there's great videos out there on people trying to pry these things off the front of your house. I don't have a Ring, so I'm not positive how they get attached to your house. But I'll be honest with you, if you own one and you want to keep it, I would strongly recommend you look at screwing it to the wall or doing something a little more permanent than double stick tape. The videos are just a hoot to watch these guys pry these things off.
Chief Greg Cunningham, thanks for joining us here on this Wednesday. We appreciate you being here. Always good to talk to you.
It's great to see you guys.
Thanks, Chief.
We'll talk to you all later now. Bye-bye.
We'll talk to you soon. And Brittany Pacheco is now joining us once again. Brittany, a lot of things going on today, and I know it looks like, before we get started, I think George is on the line here, and let's see if we can get him to connect with us. George is actually out of the Harris County Sheriff's Department, where there is a press conference that's just happened. George, are you with us this morning?
Yes, good morning, Todd. How's it going?
Good morning, and Brittany's here as well. Now, George is our staff photographer. George, tell us where you are and what's going on out there. Can you put on your camera?
Oh, I thought I had it on. I am so sorry. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, there we go.
There we go. Hey, George, how's it going, man?
Good. How's it going? Currently, I'm in my car right now, but I just got done with the event here at the Harris County Sheriff's Office, and basically HCC, collaboration with H-Force, we donated 1,000 masks or 1,000 face shields to the Harris County Sheriff's Department.
Oh, that's cool. Brittany, you knew about this because you retweeted something yesterday about this event that was happening this morning.
I certainly did, Todd. So this is awesome that we're taking part in this. And yes, led by HCC, our H-Force is a crisis collaborative born out of the community's need to increase the supply of personal protective equipment, also known as PPE. So I know as part of HCC, we're very proud to be able to donate anything at all to help this crisis, and in partnership with the Harris County Sheriff's Office.
George, I know we've been working on this project for a while. They donated the masks this morning, or the face shields rather. Who was the speakers during the event?
So the Sheriff Gonzalez, the chief sheriff, and Dr. Kurt Ewing was representing HCC.
Oh, great. And so they made an announcement. They actually donated the face shields, and you have taken some pictures. You're going to get back to your office and post these pictures. Where can folks find out more information on this, and where can they find the pictures from the ceremony?
So I'll be posting the photos on our Flickr account, and I'll be sure to send it to our social media and post it on there as well.
All right, George, thanks for being here today. Thanks for joining us and get out there. And we want to make it clear that George is in his car right now. That's why he's not wearing his face mask, but he's got it right there, and he's out working safely in the public. George, we appreciate you getting out there today.
No problem. Y'all be safe.
All right, thanks, man.
All right.
So,
Bye.
Brittany, this is a pretty big deal because this has been going on for a few weeks. I know we've got some staff who's been working in buildings ensuring that these face shields are created, and we're taking donations for the materials, and this is getting across. And I see, Chief, you're there as well. Have you guys, have your team reached out or gotten any of these face shields yourself for your folks?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, the same group of folks brought over a large batch for our organization yesterday. I got to tell you, I've looked at them, and they're really high quality. They're really good, really well made, and a good job. We have a lot to be proud of here, and they're really, really effective. So we're going to be issuing them out and getting them out on the street in the next few days.
And this is made in cooperation with the Harris County Sheriff's Office. And as George was mentioning, Sheriff Gonzalez out there talking about this, and also Dr. Kurt Ewan representing HCC. Look in our social media because we'll have more on this posted later on today. Right, Brittany?
Absolutely, Todd. Just like you heard George say, we do make it a point to make sure that all of our photos are accessible to the public and they can, virtually participate from afar. So yes, we're very, very proud to be a part of this initiative and to help the community as much as we can and in any way possible.
Another thing that's going on, Brittany, the HCC Northwest won a Texas Junior College SGA Awards, and that was out of 60 colleges in Texas. The Texas Junior College Student Government Association's convention. HCC Northwest won 4 statewide awards, 2 regional awards, and they set a record for the Northwest College. And we want to congratulate some folks from out there as well, Brittany.
Absolutely. I mean, all the hard work that goes into running a student run government and just to be a part of something like this has to be very rewarding. So congratulations to all the students who participated, and your achievements are obviously very well noted because it's made it to Facebook.
That's right. We want to give a special shout out to Northwest SGA Advisor Dominique Brown for the Advisor of the Year Region 5, and also Grace Ndwaku, and she is the Student of the Year for Region 5. They also won 3rd place in their respective categories at the state level. So great job to you guys out at the Northwest College, and good job out there. Keep up the good work.
Absolutely. And while we're talking about SGA, Todd, I'm just going to throw in real quick that SGA elections are going to be happening tomorrow and Friday, so May 7th and 8th. So all student government officers work directly with the college administration about their concerns and activities. So by voting, you are playing a part in electing students who actually care about what matters to you, because what's better than peer-to-peer concerns and understanding. So if you want to learn more about this, you can go to hccs.edu/SGA Elections. I almost flubbed on that one, but let me try that again. hccs.edu/SGA Elections.
And another thing going on, the Central Dance Ensemble 10, they're having something called the Quarantine Edition that happens at 6:30 tomorrow night, Thursday, May the 7th. And what is this about, Brittany? Have you read up on this?
I have, but you know what? My script right now is not being very cooperative, Todd, so I'm going to toss it back to you.
The Visual and Performing Arts Center of Excellence for another remote version of one of its classes. 6 dancers in the dance performance class will perform a solo inspired by the quarantine and what it means to each of them. Artistic director Maggie Lasher will conclude the online concert with a fire piece. That should be interesting. And for info and the Zoom link and password, email her at Megan, MEGAN.Lasher, LASHER, Megan.Lasher at hccs.edu. We've got summer and fall registration currently underway, and as Chief Cunningham mentioned just a few minutes ago, they're gearing up for the fall. It's going to happen in some shape or form, but we want to encourage you to sign up for the classes now that you need. We're going to be back in those buildings hopefully in the fall, and you can get all your registration needs at what website address, Brittany?
Very simple, hccs.edu/now. Yes, summer and fall classes are open. Be sure you sign up early, and get those classes that you need taken care of before they all fill up.
And as Dr. Shantay Grays was telling us earlier, the virtual commencement ceremony is happening on May the 22nd. You can still sign up for the graduation ceremony. You have to do it by Friday, and the website address is hccs.edu/graduation.
Definitely. And students, don't forget about the student resources available to you during this COVID-19 crisis. It's all at your fingertips and in one place. Go to hccs.edu/COVID-19 students, where you can get information about advising, testing, textbooks, counseling, financial aid, you name it, it's going to all be in one place. So again, that's hccs.edu/COVID-19 students. And for the latest announcements from the college, you can head over to, again, one spot, and that is right down here, right below my little screen right here, to stay informed. So go to hccs.edu/health-notice. Sorry, it's Wednesday. I'm trying to get over this hump day. But yes, all the latest.
Cinco de Mayo. It's past Cinco de Mayo. I think you're still there, Brittany.
It was a good Cinco de Mayo. I'm going to leave it at that. But anyway, like I said, to stay tuned with the latest official announcements from the college, go to hccs.edu/health-notice.
Thank you, Brittany. We've got some special guests tomorrow. Chief, down in Stafford, I know you know Mayor Leonard Stagarcella pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. Is he coming to visit with you tomorrow?
He is. He's going to be on our show tomorrow. And they were kind of ground zero for COVID in the state of Texas, because I think they had one of the first confirmed cases that kind of launched it all for us out of there. So they've been dealing with this specifically in Fort Bend County, in Stafford. So he'll be one of our special guests tomorrow. And he's going to be joining us, I believe, from City Hall to discuss the COVID crisis and their response in Stafford. So that's coming up tomorrow. We've also got two educators from the Children's Museum of Houston who will continue our virtual Family Fun Days series with ways of entertaining the kids at home. You want to be here tomorrow for that. And Chief, I've got a question for you. Since this whole thing happens, we're all doing takeout. What's your go-to place for takeout?
So there's actually a place over on 20th Street. And I got to remember the name because it changed its name. It used to be called Shade, and it's flying a new logo now, like Annie's or something. But I got to tell you what, these guys do the single best takeout meals I have ever had in my life. Like my mother would be jealous.
Oh, wow. That's a pretty good endorsement there. Yeah, I know exactly where you're talking about because I used to live in the Heights. But boy, that's a good place. That's a good place.
Absolutely.
Chief, thanks for being here again on Wednesday. We look forward to having you again next Wednesday, and stay safe out there. Tell your folks we said hello.
We really appreciate your good thoughts, and we'll do that. Thank you so much, and y'all have a good day.
Thank you, and thank you for joining us, Brittany. We will see you again tomorrow.
Absolutely, Todd. And even though you didn't ask me, my favorite takeout place is Tutu's Restaurant here on the northwest side of town over on Grant Road. Great Vietnamese food that I've supported since their location on Antoine back in the day.
I appreciate you jumping in there. It was my fault I didn't throw that question in there. Thanks, Brittany. And thank you all for joining us today on Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. We'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m.